Doctor, how many times have you testified as an expert in court?
Objection, Your Honor. That question is beyond the scope of redirect.
Overruled. You may answer.
4 times before.
How many times in a medical malpractice case?
The laptop or the iPad that I have in front of me right here on the bench displays the court reporter's real-time transcription of what's being said in the courtroom. This is an incredibly useful technological advance. Because of real-time, I can get an immediate review of the record. The words that are spoken in the courtroom appear on the screen basically at the same time they're spoken in court. Not only am I able to glance down and confirm what I've just heard, but I can also scroll up to check earlier testimony. So it's a valuable supplement to my own note-taking, and it helps me make precise rulings. I don't have to stop and ask the court reporter to read something back. Sometimes a lawyer or a witness will use a word that sounds very much like another word. In those instances, the ability to see the simultaneous record helps clarify the proceedings as I'm listening to them. The real-time draft is also available on the network after court. Now, I like that because it helps with writing my orders and also to refresh my memory about what has happened earlier in a case as I prepare for a subsequent hearing in the same case. For example, I like to remember what was said during a guilty plea as I prepare for a sentencing hearing. And without real time, whenever I was working in chambers and wanted to refer back to testimony, I would have to ask the court reporter, if she were available, to drop what she was doing and read that portion back to me. Or else, I would have to order a transcript, and really most of the time in chambers, an official certified transcript is more than we actually need in the moment. The real time saves time and money and contributes to a better work product.
Realtime also helps the judge's staff, including law clerks and interns. When we are working on time-sensitive matters like motions in limine or jury instructions, we can see from our own computers what was said in the courtroom. For all sorts of things we do, it helps to be able to pull up the record. We might not trust our own notes completely, and also, of course, we might not have been in the courtroom at the relevant time. When the judge tells us, for example, that a particular attorney made an especially good point, we can look back and see what it was. Being able to refer to the record helps us do our job and be efficient in assisting the judge. We find real-time very helpful.
In my opinion, there was an adequate sample
Doctor,
for the laboratory to run real time.
Excuse me, counsel, please speak one at a time.
In my opinion, there was an adequate sample for the laboratory to run a reliable test.
A court reporter can and should make sure the parties speak one at a time in order to protect the court record. The official court reporter will ensure that the attorneys and witnesses don't speak too fast and will attempt to steer speakers towards microphones to guarantee a verbatim record. Answers from witnesses such as or a nod of the head would become an inaudible section of the transcript on a digital recording.
I appreciate having a real-time court reporter and having the spoken word appear instantly as the proceedings take place in my courtroom. Unlike with digital audio recording, with real-time, we see the court record as it will be seen by the litigants and the court. Real-time helps make the courtroom accessible to everyone. Not every witness, juror, attorney, or judge for that matter has perfect hearing. And in some courtrooms, the acoustics aren't what they might be. With real-time being available, I, as a judge, have a tremendously valuable tool in the kit of tools I use to make sure that no one is locked out of the courtroom because of a hearing problem. Personally, since I have a hearing loss, I like the instantaneous steno-to-text or real-time, which helps me in making sure I don't miss anything that is said in court. I believe an official reporter providing real-time technology is the best and most cost-effective method of capturing, preserving, and most importantly, accessing the record.
Después de una deportación. Okay. La intérprete está aquí, entonces... Using a real-time feed, a court interpreter can refer to his or her screen to assist in lengthy dialogue and/or technical testimony.
While testimony is proceeding, I can use the real-time to flag a particular issue I will want to refer back to later. I can even type notes in the margins at the same time that the court reporter is taking down the testimony. This streamlines the process of locating important sections of testimony after court. I might, for example, highlight testimony about drug amounts, or interstate transportation, or damages when I anticipate there will be a question about them at a later time. The simultaneous note-taking and highlighting feature is especially useful when it comes to preparing findings of fact in a court trial. Realtime also makes it possible for me to review what happened in court no matter where I am. I don't have to order and carry around with me a paper transcript.
When trying a case, requesting real-time and daily copy, I can receive a copy of each day's proceedings, completely edited and certified by that evening. It assists both counsel and the court when referring back on disputed statements of witnesses. It also helps us keep track of exhibits and whether they've been admitted. If I confer with my client and miss some testimony, I can easily scroll back to review what I've missed. Also, before passing the witness, I can double-check that a series of questions and answers which are important to my case were covered.
A real-time reporter can stream the proceedings as they are occurring in real time to co-counsel in the war room down the street or across the country using wireless encrypted access to the internet.
Courtroom deputy clerks use real-time to help them take complete and accurate minutes, even though their job sometimes requires them to go in and out of court and do more than one thing at a time when they are in the courtroom. I very often use the real-time transcripts to verify witness and exhibit information, stay informed during sidebars, and when I need to leave the courtroom to tend to juries. I'm much more efficient because of the availability of real-time.
I was surprised to learn that court reporters have to supply all of their own computer software and equipment, and that none of this is provided by the court.
Federal official court reporters provide all of their own computers, software, equipment, and supplies necessary to preserve and transcribe the record. If additional personnel are required in order to make a transcription of the record, the official court reporter will employ such personnel at no cost to the court. There are many more benefits to using a real-time reporter, but we wanted to cover the basics for you so you would be fully informed in your choice of the guardian of the record. United States district judges across the country use millions of pages of real-time transcripts every year. Your best choice is a real-time court reporter who can assist the judiciary using the latest technology that no other system can match.